Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Monday, the 8th of June. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Israel has issued the all clear after a second wave of Iranian missiles. The current Prime Minister Pashinyan has declared victory in the Armenian elections, and Taiwan has deployed vessels in response to a Chinese military operation. Before we get into it, just to say sorry about my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, but hopefully it comes right soon. So firstly, the Israeli military said on Monday morning that it had intercepted a second barrage of Iranian missiles fired towards its territory and had issued an all clear. In a statement, they said the defensive systems were operating to intercept the threat and urged the public to take shelter. The rocket alerts were issued to parts of central and southern Israel, among other areas. There was no immediate reports of damage or casualties resulting from this latest attack. So what? I think it's likely that the US will still try to hold on to this ceasefire despite everything that's going on, despite, both sides exchanging missile attacks now between, Israel, the US and Iran at this point. I think it's likely that Israel and Iran could escalate much faster just due to Israel, not really being that keen on the ceasefire agreement anyway. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. And yeah, overall, I think it's highly unlikely that there's going to be a good deal coming out of this at the end of the day anyway. Trump really doesn't have the leverage, as I've said multiple times. And next, Armenians voted on Sunday in their parliamentary elections. This seems likely to boost the country's pro-EU trajectory despite Russia's anger at the course of the government. Armenian Prime Minister Minister Pashinyan declared a victory on Monday. Early results showed his party getting 52%, with the Russian Armenian billionaires' Strong Armenian Alliance Party getting 23%, and the Central Election Commission citing 23.5% of electoral precedents reported. The Armenian Alliance also took third with 9%, followed by other parties. They said the turnout was around 59%, which is pretty decent. At a press conference in the early hours of Monday morning, he said that the Civil Contract Party had prevailed and was calling it a historic victory. So what? In the lead up to this election, the president said that he wanted to move Armenia towards the EU, which seems, very much more likely now, especially after such a significant victory. Getting over 50% is, pretty good, especially in a multi-party system. It's almost certain that Russia is going to be very angry about this. There's Russian peacekeepers in Armenia, which will possibly have to leave, and it's just Russia losing more influence in the Caucasus regions, which has been waning for several years now. It's likely this is a result of the Armenian-Azerbaijan war, which Russia basically just let Armenia lose during. And it's another big blow to the CTSO, which is Russia's main defense pact with lots of countries. But I think it's unlikely that Russia can really do much at this stage. Unlike Ukraine or Georgia, it can't really invade the countries because, you would have to go through Georgia or Azerbaijan, both of which wouldn't let you do that. So, yeah, I don't know what Russia will do. We'll likely see some grey zone operations, but there's no real ability to physically invade the country. And lastly, Taiwan's Coast Guard said on Sunday that it had deployed vessels in response to a Chinese operation east of the island. Taipei said that it detected 4 Chinese government vessels departing from Xiamen and dispatched more than 5 Coast Guard ships to conduct surveillance. The National Security Council posted on a video on X where the Coast Guard was broadcasting footage of the Chinese vessels, saying, "These are not your waters, you do not belong here, turn around and leave." So what? This shows a pretty good level of responsiveness and shows how quickly Taiwan can identify Chinese vessels moving towards their waters, especially if they can identify them leaving port and instantly prepare themselves. It's likely that China is just testing Taiwan, seeing how good their responsiveness is, where these vessels come from, how they were detected, etc., for any possible attempt at a blockade or an invasion. It's possible the situation will continue to get more tense towards the back end of this year and in early 2027, as a lot of experts have put that as the year that, this Taiwan-China situation could kick off, for want of a better way of saying that. But anyway, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel. Sorry again for my voice. This hurt a lot. Cheers. See you.